In the struggle to end segregation in the United States in the 1950s and 1960s, Martin Luther King Jr. was at the head of the marchers and the boycotters, a powerful symbol of nonviolence, pushing for legal and social improvements for African Americans. But according to the new documentary, King in the Wilderness, King had a vision of achieving more, a vision still unfulfilled 50 years later. Taylor Branch is King's biographer and one of the film's executive producers.
We were on a mission to redeem the soul of America from mankind's triple scourges of racial bigotry, war, and poverty. For a largely invisible tiny minority, to have that as an ambition is just stunning.
Mine eyes have seen the glory.
King was a preacher by training, and so it was natural for Americans to consider him a leader, even a prophet, but only to a point. As long as King gave speeches on voting, access to public spaces, and equal treatment under the law, Branch says his support was widespread. But once President Lyndon Johnson signed the Voting Rights Act into law in 1965, King's influence cratered, even among his fellow activists. Because he opposed the Vietnam War, because he was trying to launch an anti-poverty campaign, and because young people impatient for change cheered on the Black Power movement.
What depressed King more was the great rush of excitement about Black Power that obliterated all the questions of the potential of nonviolence and how quickly nonviolence became kind of passé in the culture.
By the time King was assassinated on April 4th, 1968, he was drained, under FBI surveillance, and worried about a race war. But he still wanted to work. 50 years after Martin Luther King's death, people speak of the dream he had for a better society. King is revered, but it's important to remember, he wasn't the U.S.'s saint. Rosiland Jordan, Al Jazeera, Washington.